Welcome back. And we're back in the basement. Last time, if you watched our video, I was up in the dining room sorting through a collection we had just bought. This time, have a little bit less stuff. Just kind of a long box and some assorted things. This is actually from a larger collection that Richard bought up in New Jersey. I went up there. That's where the mothership is for Welcome Back Comics. And we got a chance to sort, but the place we store our comics up there doesn't have any heating, so we kept it brief in there and didn't shoot a whole video. But I did bring back some things here. There's some stuff I'll talk about briefly that we got in that collection that I did not bring home with me, but I brought this stuff here either for processing for sets at some point or potentially to price and kind of get back out there. So you'll get kind of a flavor of another collection we picked up. I should say it's a combination of a collection Richard picked up and some stuff that we won at auction, a few smaller lots of comics that we won at an online auction site. So get just a little flavor here right before the end of the year. And before we do all that, I just want to say Richard bought me probably my favorite thing from 2021, a Jocasta Marvel Legends figure. For folks who know us, you know I'm a big 1970s Avengers fan, and if you had told me that they were ever going to make a Jocasta action figure, I would have told you were crazy, but here it is, and I'm super psyched about it and to have picked it up from Richard this weekend. Just so you all know, we were COVID safe in terms of visiting with one another. I don't want you to think we're flaunting COVID regulations here at Welcome Back Comics. And last but not least, before we dive into the books here, viewers who watched before know if anything you see here is something you can't live without, you can contact us at welcomebackcomics@gmail.com or find us Welcome Back Comics on Facebook. Always happy to arrange shipping or local pickup if you're in either the DC or New Jersey area. And of course, we are always buying collections. So if you have some books you'd like to sell, please feel free to hit us up. So let me start with the short box here. And again, this is not in any particular order. I didn't do any prep work for this video, so it may be a little bit longer than usual, maybe a little bit more boring than usual. We'll see, but I will tell you there are some really good keys in here. Richard did a fantastic job picking up a collection up in New Jersey with just some really good modern keys in it. Nothing, no first appearance of Wolverine or anything like that. So not quite a half short box over here, mostly of sets. Or close to sets. I've been picking up late to the game, but reading House of X and Powers of X. These are actually a couple books I found in a dollar bin at a comic book store on my drive home from Richard's, along with 3 books we need to complete the A versus X miniseries. So always good to be able to finish a series and get it out of my basement. In the books we bought was an almost complete run of the 2011 Batman Beyond or 2010 Batman Beyond series. A few things from Brightest Day, which is a set that we always try and make. So again, nothing in this probably little batch that's going to be super exciting. Some things that we pull periodically. Every now and then we'll be able to make one of these Batgirl runs. It's a long 73 issue series. So, if we get a couple in a collection, we'll put it aside in case we need them to fill in a set later. There'll be a few more of these throughout. I think there might be a full run of the Batman Return of Ra's al Ghul. Some Black Widow. I think this whole series may be buried in here somewhere. Dug through some of our back stock at Welcome Back Comics headquarters and found one book that we need to complete the Wolverine Origin series. And then we also do the Fatal Attractions holographic cover books. So there are a few kind of, again, minor keys. These are probably all in kind of like the $10-ish range from kind of the Dan Slott Amazing Spider-Man era. These are out of the books that Richard bought. There's a couple of others that you'll see later that are a little bit higher value, but we went back through and picked these up as well. I am starting to work on a Grant Morrison new X-Men run, so without boring you with all of them, these are the ones we had at Richard's, and again, nice thick stack of the run. Just a sketch cover X-Men that we'll put in a sketchbook. Again, finishing off sets of Thanos Imperative. Not finishing it, but needed this book. A few modern what-ifs. None of the real crazy ones. But, again, stuff to potentially throw in a $5 bin, especially with Secret Invasion potentially coming up. And we've got another what-if. Then we've got all 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. With the exception of the prologue, all of the World War Hulk series, so we'll make that into a set. Another What If Secret Invasion, a couple What If Avengers versus X-Men, which I actually might read before putting these back out for sale, and then just a Bronze Age Wonder Woman book. So that's the short box, and again, most exciting thing in the short box, Jocasta. Now we'll get to the long box. This first chunk of the long box actually comes from one of the lots we bought at auction. It was a short box of books that included an almost complete run of the Sensational She-Hulk. So again, you can see this was a 60-issue run, and you can see that there's a chunk of them here. The great part about this was it did have the 2 books that we needed to finish a run we had already been working on. So we do have a complete run of Sensational She-Hulk ready to be mailed out to you if you want it. Just again, hit us up at welcomebackcomics@gmail.com or find us on Facebook, Welcome Back Comics. And this is missing probably about 10 issues. A couple of them will be harder to find ones. But given that we don't have any shows coming up anytime soon, we'll probably sit on this for the time being. Maybe make it a set if we luck into some of the books that we need to complete it. And if we don't, we'll break it up and start bringing it to shows, especially once the She-Hulk series hits the air. And obviously there's a lot of buzz about the character. There's a couple more things like that. So most of this box is going to be almost complete sets. Some are more exciting than others. I would say the She-Hulk is probably the most exciting set that we had. Maybe exciting to some 90s fans. Morbius, there's an almost complete set. I actually don't know. This goes up to 31. I need to do a little research. I don't know where this series ends, and there are a couple of holes. 2 issues in number 1. Obviously, there's a movie coming out as well, so it might be nice to be able to have this set once the movie hits the... It's actually going to say screen, but actually probably hits the airwaves, depending on what's going on with theaters and whether they ever really recover. Similar situation here. We've got almost an entire run of Immortal Iron Fist. I was kind of on the fence with this one. Number 1, still maybe like a $10 book. I think we're missing just number 2. I'm going to dig through my backstock, see if I have it to make the set. Otherwise, this was a great read. If you haven't read it, this is actually a really, really good book. But it doesn't have a lot of buzz around it anymore, so the set might sit there for a while, whereas number 1 might sell and the rest could be in a dollar bin. So if we don't find the number 2 at some point, that might be what we do with these. And it's never a good sign when a show gets canceled after one season on, on Hulu? But we have an almost complete run of the Hellstorm miniseries, or not miniseries, Hellstorm ongoing series from the 90s. Again, feels worth keeping and trying to see if we can find that last issue or 2 to complete it and put it out as a set. Just in anticipation of the movie coming out, there's a return of Shang-Chi, Master of Kung Fu, so we'll probably throw this in the $5 bin. A few Justice Society covers that are not, not big dollar books, but again, might make it into our $5 section with Black Adam kind of coming out soon-ish and Atom Smasher being in that. So we'll see. It's been interesting to watch how the Black Adam movie has kind of driven up some interest in this old Justice Society series, which is great. It was a great series, a great read. Those Alex Ross covers are phenomenal, so it's nice to see them kind of moving from, maybe dollar stock that might even get passed over to potentially $5 stock. Just a random amalgam book, but that's a set we always try and make, so if we see the books in a collection we picked up, we're going to grab them. Same thing with Infinity, and then here's a second Hellstrom number 1. Again, might throw it in a $5 box, see what happens. And if when you see us at our sales or at shows, our $5 books are $5, but usually there's some sort of deal. You buy 3 or 4 and you get 1 free, so they end up being a little bit cheaper. And again, feel free to email us, contact us if there's anything here that you want. Hunger number 1, Galactus has got a lot of buzz right now, so there's a cool Galactus cover. Some random books here, just a random Powerpuff Girls. Just wanted to check that out. And final issue of the ongoing Nightwing series. Some Sentry, The Fallen Sun, one shot. Again, Sentry's kind of been up and down a little bit lately. Almost complete run of the Red Hood Lost Days miniseries. Some more of those Ra's al Ghul miniseries. So that's one that we like to sell. So I think there's 7 or 8. I think maybe there's only 5 or so that came out of this collection, so I'll have to dig for the other ones. I don't remember if this is actually the first appearance of Red Robin or not, so I'll have to take a look at this. Obviously, his first appearance was in Kingdom Come. But it caught my eye enough to pull and take a look at it later. A couple more new X-Men books, and then another big chunk. This was in the same boat. Let me stand up for a second here. Same boat as the She-Hulk. This is a lot. So I actually might just move. Same boat as the She-Hulk books, where it's a set that sells pretty well for us. We build it every now and then. This is the 90s Guardian of the Galaxy run. There is a number 1. This is number 50 that I showed you there. There's a number 1 in here. So again, this is a 62, I think, issue series. Now, similar to She-Hulk, there were 2 books that we needed to complete a set of this already. So we finished off 1 set, and then I'll log this in our set completer list and try and look for those 2 issues again so we can build another set of this. But again, we do have a complete set of that Guardians of the Galaxy run if it's something that you're looking for. And if it's not, somebody will look for it eventually. It's a great series. And also, obviously, there's a Guardians of the Galaxy movie that will come out eventually. Fingers crossed. In one of these collections, the one that Richard bought, there was a bunch of the Sinestro Corps War stuff. I need to look through this. We're pretty close to finishing off a run of that, so I may use these to finish off that run. And if not, this book in particular, number 25, has really kind of bumped up in value lately. So, again, it's some good stuff to have, whether it completes a sort of mini set that we do of just the Sinestro Corps War, or whether we just, kind of put them out as individually priced books. Let's see what else we got. What other fun stuff? We're almost done, in case you were getting bored. Some Eternals, which again, nothing exciting about that, except there's a movie coming out. And so if there's interest in it, there's not that many Eternals books out there. We do have an entire run of the initial Eternals series from the 70s. So if you are interested in Eternal stuff, feel free to hit us up. Deadpool, number 1 from, I don't know, this is 2003 or so. Couple Dark Avengers books. Again, this series, their whole series was there. I don't think it's worth making a set anymore. Number 1 still has a little bit of value, and I think this is maybe the origin of Sentry, so probably more like a $5 book. Still need to look these up. Can't imagine they're worth anything big, but Casey Jones 1 and 2 from Mirage, and it's a 2-issue miniseries. Obviously, Captain Marvel's going to be making her way to the MCU soon, so didn't anchor a book for any length of time, so her appearances can be a little interesting now. Not complete, but some of an Eternals miniseries, again, that we'll try and get out in time for the movie. Then again, I know you're all riveted to your seats about the resurrection of Ra's al Ghul. Here's some more. So this actually may be a complete run of it. Then last few books, and I believe there are a few keys left in here. Been hanging on, wondering where the key books are. They're coming your way. Not right now, because first up is a few issues of the Annihilation miniseries, and number 5, not number 6, of Annihilation Conquest. So again, those are solid. Those miniseries are solid sellers, but obviously not keys. And number 6 of Annihilation Conquest is the one where the Guardians of the Galaxy, sort of the new Guardians of the Galaxy form, but that was not in this lot. Some Age of Ultron books, sort of one of the most, in my opinion, disappointing miniseries. I was super underwhelmed by this when it came out, but doesn't mean we won't build it and sell it, because there are people out there who do like it. Number 1 of the Carnage miniseries by Wells. I would consider this kind of a minor key. Detective 850 is the first Birds of Prey, I believe. And then the few books kind of leading up to that. But this one's I don't know, I feel like it peaked at maybe like a $40 or $50 book. I don't know if it's there yet. And then just a kind of cool detective cover with Zatanna on it. We're going to get into some Batman keys. I'm actually going to move those. I'll save those to the very end to really keep you hooked in. Neil Gaiman's Whatever Happened. Oh, this is another one in that part of Hush that leads up to Birds of Prey. We've got there we go, both parts 1 and 2 of Neil Gaiman's Whatever Happened to the Cape Crusader. Most, but not all, of the Batwoman run in Detective, which is a pretty good read, and we like to build this out as a set for folks. I mentioned earlier there's some Black Widow, so some more Black Widow stuff, and almost complete Black Cat miniseries. And now we're going to get into some books that have some individual value to them. Let's start with, well, this one doesn't, but Superhero Squad New Avengers, kind of fun. So Mighty Avengers, I forget why this book is popping lately, and it's probably only popping to like the tune of $10 or so, but did find this. I really liked this Mighty Avengers run, although I like the second half of it that I think Dan Slott did. I don't remember why this particular book popped, maybe something to do with Secret Invasion. Found that in there. Same with the sketch cover for New Avengers, what is it, 31? And then I think this is the first appearance of the Skrull Queen, maybe, in New Avengers 40. So these are all minor keys, probably in like the 10, no more than $20 range. I have to look them up. Then we've got some Spider-Man stuff, which is great. I believe this is the first Anti-Venom here. And then some variant covers. I don't know if these have much value. I need to look them up. But some variant covers. This is a pretty cool variant cover, I thought. I mean, I actually like these quite a bit as well. These villain covers. So picked up those out of the collection, and then I always thought this was something about like maybe the first time Flash Thompson becomes Venom, something like that, but I think it's only like a $5 book. Then last but not least, kind of the three of the keys. We've got some Batman stuff. Actually, I'm not sure if I pulled this out on purpose or if it just accidentally ended up in there, but 655, I think this might be the first Damian Wayne, and then 635 is kind of the big one out of this collection. The Red Hood. So, and I forget, I think this continues to climb. I feel like this might be close to a $100 book now. The couple things that I'll say before we close out for the day, the stuff that we didn't bring back, there's 2 or 3 boxes of dollar books still in that collection. There's a box and a half of trade paperbacks. There's also an almost complete box of Black Panther books, which does include the now very, very valuable number 2 and 5 with the first appearance of T'Challa's sister Shuri, and also her first appearance as the Black Panther. So those were super exciting to find in that collection. So we do have those books, but those stayed up in New Jersey, and I don't have them here to highlight for you. But some great stuff coming up. So the next time we do a show, which probably will be April, you should come with your wallets full. And again, happy to make deals before that if you want to get in touch with us via Facebook or Gmail. Until then, if you do have collections or you're looking to sell books, please feel free to send them our way. I guess you're supposed to like and subscribe these videos, so please do that too. And otherwise, we look forward to seeing you at some point once we're able to be back in person.